Hey guys, it's Jackie M from Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. We are back with Ramadan Kitchen, and this time we have a very special guest, and this is Kartini from the Consulate of Malaysia over here in Sydney, Australia. Go, yay! Guys, make sure you say hello. Let us know where you're watching from, and thanks so much for joining us. And like I said, this is a Ramadan series where we make mostly kind of easy to prepare food and mostly finger foods. And this is what we're doing in this particular session today as well. We're making what's called Cucur Badak. And, funnily enough, Kartini was telling me that even some of her Malay friends don't know what Cucur Badak is. Kartini, can you tell Tuan Razali and Amahiran?
Yeah, today we are making Cucur Badak. So after this, maybe both of you can try and make Cucur Badak.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, like I said, don't forget to say hello. Let us know where you're watching from and hit us up with any questions during this session. And while we're preparing the food, we're going to talk to Kartini about like her role here and what her day looks like here in Australia. So it'll be interesting. So thanks again for joining us, and let's get started. Okay. So Tini, what we're going to do is Cucur Badak, for those of you who don't know, is actually like a sweet potato dumpling, but it's savory and it's filled with usually a minced dried shrimp and coconut filling. We're going to maybe make a couple of different fillings. One is going to be vegan and the other is going to be the traditional. Okay, when I say traditional, we have completely simplified this. So this is you guys just have to cut us a little bit of slack. Okay, so first of all, this is the sweet potato we're using, and we were talking about this off air earlier. Now, in Malaysia, usually the Cucur Badak is like, it uses the orange sweet potato, but both Tini and I have had trouble with orange sweet potato in making anything that we have to mash the sweet potato, because it's very sticky, and I don't know whether it's the particular variety of sweet potato that we're using. So what I actually use is this is a purple sweet potato or white sweet potato with a purple skin, and it's actually sweeter, and it always works better for me when I'm making Cucur Badak or making kuih Korea and that sort of stuff, right? So I have already steamed this with the skin on, so I might get Tini, if you can help me just to peel the skin off. And then I'll just get this here, and if you want to just put the skin here, and in the meantime, so this is going to be the dumpling skin, okay? And in the meantime, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the ingredients that go into the filling. With a lot of Malaysian, I guess, rempah and that sort of stuff, they have very similar ingredients. Okay, so I keep forgetting that I didn't plug in my overhead camera. Okay, so this is actually onion. Is basically onion that's been blended, sort of thing, in the food processor. So it's crushed like this, fresh onion, and I use big onions here in Australia. And in Malaysia, you might use the small shallots or a combination of the small shallots and the big onions. Here in Australia, I just use the big onions because it's cheap and it works anyway. And then we got some garlic here, again, minced garlic. And here, for the non-vegan version, I've got some dried shrimp, okay? There you can find dried shrimp here in Australia at your Asian grocery store, and they come in a few different grades. This is the lowest grade. And it's really tiny, but it tastes the same, So there you go. That's what we're going to use for the non-vegan version. And I've got some belacan here, okay, for the non-vegan version that we're going to add to it. And also some curry powder, okay? This is a Malaysian curry powder. And just some random curry powder will work, like preferably a Malaysian one. And again, thanks again for joining us, guys, and say hello. And I can see Victoria, and I saw someone else earlier say that Cucur Badak is their favorite. Now, as far as the seasoning, okay, so I've got some coconut here. In Malaysia, everything you use is fresh, okay? Here we use like all the shortcut. This is a dried coconut. So we're going to use some dried shredded coconut in this. And also, we are going to, now, if you were doing a vegan version, instead of the dried shrimp, what we will use is this here. This is what we call choy bo in Chinese. And it is preserved radish, right? And what it is like, if you're looking for this variety that I used to use this a lot in my business for a number of dishes. this is actually what they use for the Thai dish pad Thai, right? So it's preserved radish. It's already minced for you, and it's the flavor is quite a little bit sweet and a little bit salty. Okay, so that to me makes a good vegan substitute for the dried shrimp. Okay, so we're gonna make 2 different batches of this, and I am going to get started cooking here. Let me just get rid of this first. So Tini,
Yeah.
tell us about Australia. For those of you who are in Malaysia or who are thinking of coming to Australia to study, tell us what advice would you give to people who want to come to Australia to study?
I think Australia is a nice place to study. It's people always say Australian people are very laid back. Yeah, I mean they're laid back, but when they work, they really work very hard. When they play, then they make use of their time with their family, go to the beach, barbecue. Even now it's autumn. It's a very nice weather for the past 2 weeks. And for any Malaysian who want to come and study in Australia, I think Australia is very good in their accounting and engineering courses. And other than that, we also have a lot of Australians that actually study in Malaysia.
Oh, really?
And also they go for a culture
Nice.
exchange or mobility program
Nice,
in Malaysia.
I did not know that.
Yes, under Australian government scholarship New Colombo plan,
Really?
where actually the
Oh,
Australian
right.
government pay their students to go to Malaysia or Asian countries to experience all these culture attachment.
Sure, cool.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm just actually dry frying the onion and the garlic and some chili and some curry powder at the moment. After that, we're going to split it. Usually you'll see, like most Malaysian recipes, they'll tell you heat up the oil at the rempah, right?
Yeah.
I like to do it the other way around. I like to fry it because I tend to find the onion, the rempah and all that has a lot of, what do you call it? Has a lot of juice sort of thing. So like when you add like something that has a lot of liquid in it into oil, it starts splattering everywhere. So I like to just kind of like mix it in and fry it up first without the oil, then I add the oil. Okay, that's just me. You can do it the traditional way or you can do it the Jackie M way. Okay, so we're gonna dry fry this and then we're gonna take half of this out because we're gonna make one portion that's vegan and the other portion that's normal. Okay. So again, just a bit of curry powder, onion, garlic. If you've got lemongrass, you can add some minced lemongrass here. I didn't bother with the lemongrass because we're just keeping it simple. We don't want to make this too complicated, right?
I told Jackie that I want something that even the students can make.
Yeah, that's right. So like if you got like this sweet potato, if you buy it, like it's very cheap. It was only like $1.99 a kilo, right? At your local greengrocer. So and these ingredients, onion, garlic, you can find easily, right? And even if you don't have the dried shrimp, you can use anything you like, really.
I think anchovies.
Yeah.
Because you just want the
flavor.
Yeah.
That's right. So I have done this with just dried coconut before, without the dried shrimp, right? So, but anyway, let's take out half of this first. So this is what we call in Malay like rempah, which is kind of like the spice paste sort of thing. Okay, and here you should really soak the dried shrimp, but we're gonna be lazy here. Just add it straight, and then we're gonna add some oil to fry it up. And by the way, tell us a bit about where you come from, Tini.
I am from Kedah.
Anyone from Kedah here?
Anyone from Kedah? Shout out. Anyone from Kedah? Okay. For when Jackie told me that we are making cucur badak, in Kedah we say chop badak. But for us, every cucur is to chop. Chop.
How different is like the local lingo in Kedah and like proper standard Malay? Is it very different? Can I understand them or?
You can. I think you can. You can understand. It's not as different as I think Kelantanese.
Okay,
Yeah,
right,
Kelantan
Sure.
and Terengganu will be
Quite different. Okay.
Yeah, Kedah is just
Say something like a traditional, a typical Kedah person would say. Let me see if I can understand it.
alright. Hang nak makan apa?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah,
As everyone called hang in Kedah.
Yeah, everyone
Why
is
is
a
that?
hang.
Hang is for both guys and girls, or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, hang is like you.
You. Okay,
Yeah.
hang is like you. Okay. Nice. Oh, speaking of Kedah, I need your help because I'm
Yeah.
doing a new Tourism Malaysia series, and one of the destinations we're doing is Kedah.
Yeah, I
So-
realized that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have any, or do you know anybody who can give us some footage of Kedah?
Yes,
Betul.
betul.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I need to sort this out.
Yeah, we saw it after this.
Yeah, it's very hard to make a show. Don't tell anyone we're saying this, but we're shooting a travel and food show without stepping foot into Malaysia. So we're trying to get, so if you have any like footage of Kedah, Sarawak in particular, Johor, Terengganu,
Yeah, Malacca.
Malacca I'm okay,
Yeah.
Penang,
Yeah.
Pahang,
Mm.
what's the eighth one? Perak. Okay, if you got any footage of any of those places and any, especially of the food, like maybe like jalan-jalan, you know, like when you go out food
the
hunting or
hawkers,
something, the
yeah,
hawkers.
hawkers.
If you can talk to some hawkers for me, I will put your footage in our show. Okay, I want it on landscape and go and film a hawker and just. I
Yeah.
want to ask. I don't need you to show. I don't need you to ask them how to cook their dish. I want you to ask them about their story, okay? Like, how long have you been selling for? And like, you know, what time do you wake up in the morning to
Yeah.
prepare? And, you know, what's your plans for the future? Those sort of things. I want to tell the story focus. So,
And most importantly, have them watch them cook. You know, get to see them cooking. That's what we want.
Yeah, see the flaming on the
Yeah,
wok
yeah,
flame.
that's
and all
right,
that.
that's right.
You want
So-
wok hay.
Right.
So far, and you know what? They're all using Ramadan as the excuse. Oh, all the hawkers are shut because of Ramadan and all that. Come on, guys. I'm sure there's some
I
people.
think
that-
they should.
All right. So far, we've got onion, garlic, dried shrimp, curry powder. Apa ni?
The belacan.
Okay, I'll put the belacan in. The
Yeah.
belacan is like kind of like, you know, it's quite hard.
Yeah.
We can even leave it out.
Yeah.
Usually I use belacan powder, but and just add a little bit in here just to give it that extra zest, you know. And then we're going to add the seasoning, but in the meantime, so we've got the oil, we're frying this up. So it's quite aromatic now, right?
Yeah.
And we saw Tia earlier saying hello, so Tia is watching. Tia, I hope you're taking notes because you're going to make this for the next get
Yes.
together, yeah?
The next get together, PR. We want to try your
Yeah.
Badak.
Yeah. All right. So I've got some shredded coconut here. This is just again easy to find right here in Sydney. You can just pick them up at your local supermarket. But what we want to do, because it's quite dry, we want to add a little bit of water to this. Okay.
Yeah.
So
See, after Jackie put in the belacan, the smell is so nice.
yeah. Too much. Add a little bit more. Okay, but because like I said, the coconut is really dry, we want to soften it up with some water, and then we'll just fry it up. And we're going to add some seasoning. And as far as the seasoning, I'm going to use some mushroom seasoning. Okay, this is everyone who watches me cook, you know, I use chicken powder a lot. This is the same thing but vegan. Okay, it's just that since we're doing a separate vegan batch, I'll just use the vegan one. It's the same thing. It doesn't taste mushroomy or anything like that. It's just a lot of like Malaysian, Asian, like vegetarians, they use this instead of chicken seasoning. Okay, so you can use it for, you know, if you're doing vegan. We'll add a little bit of salt here, and we're gonna put some sugar in this. Okay, because I've got a little bit of a sweet tooth. Here you go. So now Kedah food, is Kedah food like
Spicy.
spicy? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Is it like how would you say it? It's very different to Terengganu food and
No, it's
Kelantan.
very, very different.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If some part of Kedah will have influence of the Thais,
Really?
Yeah, because
But that's what they say about Kelantan too. Kelantan food is a bit sweet because of the Thai influence.
Yeah, we have also.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting,
Sometimes,
interesting.
okay.
So what is Kedah
So we have
famous for?
influence of the Thai
Okay.
and also because of Penang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we are in the middle. So we
Okay.
have influence of the Thais and some Penang,
Right.
Chinese.
Really? Are there a lot of Chinese in
cooking.
Kedah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that. Because Kedah is famous for its rice fields, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have Laksa Kedah, Assam Laksa. It's a bit different from Assam Laksa Penang.
In what
I
way?
think Assam Laksa Penang, they have pineapple as the garnish.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't.
Okay, what do you use?
Other than the pineapple.
Okay, so you have like
Yeah.
cucumber.
Cucumber, onion, salad.
Okay. Do you use the
chili.
the peti sudang?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But not as much as. I think
Good.
Penang we use a lot of.
Do you use bunga tantan in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Very
there you
similar.
go. I've never
Very
had
similar.
laksa Kedah.
Very similar.
I
Actually.
had a laksa kuala kangsa. Have you had that?
No.
It's also like
Laksa.
but like more plain. It's interesting. Like, yeah, maybe no cucumber either. Okay, so this is pretty much done. We're gonna just take this out and we're gonna let it cool down for a little bit until we can handle it. Now when people think of Kedah, they think of Langkawi,
Of
right?
course, yes.
The
The island, the beautiful island
Yeah.
of Langkawi.
yeah, that's what Kedah really is famous for.
Famous.
That's why we're covering Kedah, to be honest, because of Langkawi. Because I mean, okay, but apart from Langkawi, where else would you like visit in Kedah? What-
Penang?
in Kedah, is that-
in
any
Kedah.
interesting like sites that you can
The
visit?
archaeology.
What
Archaeology.
I'm so bad.
You have to go back.
I know, I do.
We
Okay.
have the archaeology park, the archaeology site where they found the first.
Kedah, no, that's Perak, man. I'm
No,
thinking,
no, no,
I've been here for
no,
so long. What did Jackie should try laksa Terengganu? Oh,
See, yeah, he told
what's
us.
laksa Terengganu? Have you had it?
No, he said it only can be found in Terengganu.
That'll be why.
Then it's okay. Tia's gonna.
He's gonna cook it for
He's
us.
gonna cook it.
Yeah. Like, does it like, that's interesting. Yeah. Is it like laksa Kelantan?
He said it's like Johor,
Oh,
but the noodle is from the rice. It's rice noodle. It's not. It's not.
like Johor uses like a spaghetti type
Yeah,
noodle.
yeah. But it,
Okay.
yeah.
Laksa Terengganu.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to Google it after this. So I just added some mushroom seasoning, and I also added the choy po, the minced preserved radish in here. And by the way, Tini brought me a packet of this special pack of keropok. It's not keropok udang, keropok ikan bilis. I've never heard of that. All right, it's a dried anchovy cracker. So we're gonna try and fit this into our cooking today. I want to fry it out and taste it. I can't wait. So this is the vegan version now that we're doing.
Yep.
We're going to add some oil to it. So you can see it's very easy just to turn this vegan, all right?
Yeah.
And then we're just going to fry it up. So Tini, how long have you been in Australia, and how do you find it?
Okay, this is my 4th year in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
4th
So
year,
you've been
yeah.
here 3 years plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think it's good to be back. Actually, I studied here 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Wow, hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
You don't look old enough to have been here
Oh,
20
come
years
on.
ago. So we're just adding
Yeah.
the dried shrimp, the dried coconut here. So 20 years ago, you were studying in Australia,
Yeah, in
Okay.
Wollongong.
in Wollongong.
In Wollongong, yeah.
That's
so-
not too well. It's about an hour from here. So yeah.
in our class.
Sure.
Beautiful place. Yeah.
I've never really
Pictures.
actually visited Cucur. I've driven through it. I've never actually hung out there. So
All right, you should.
it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you stay in Wollongong when
Yeah.
you were? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Are there a lot of Malaysian students in Wollongong though?
Not as many as we used to,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
but we have a Malaysian community in
In Wollongong.
Wollongong.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Not big, but yeah.
Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Probably doesn't need it, but we'll see how it goes. Now, how many university students from Malaysia are now based in Australia?
Since throughout Australia, probably 3,000-4,000 higher education.
Higher education.
Higher education.
Okay.
But if we take into account all levels of education, from school, TVET, which is vocational, English, or colleges, diplomas, and also up to higher education. I think roughly now we have about 19,000.
Okay. So it's actually not that. I mean, I'm surprised there's only 3,000 or 4,000 in higher education.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be more than that.
Not as much as the one in TAFE or TVET.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And are most of them based here in Sydney, or are they everywhere?
Everywhere. I think the biggest number will be from in Melbourne.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I forgot to mention the reason why we're talking about education is because that's what she works in. She's with the what's it called?
Education attaché.
Yeah, education attaché in at the
Education
consulate.
Malaysia. Education Malaysia, Australia at the Consulate of Malaysia, Sydney.
Right. So now, what do you actually do in your position?
In my position, I think basically look after the welfare of the Malaysian student in Australia.
Cool.
Yeah, and also to accommodate collaboration, intention of higher institution in Malaysia and in Australia. If you want to do any collaboration,
Okay, right.
in terms of academic research.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're not just kind of about like students coming here to study.
Mm.
It's broader than that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is like a little bit macam ni, a little bit oily. We're gonna add a bit more.
Desiccated.
Yeah, that's a bit of coconut. I'm gonna add some water to this.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see the way I cook.
Dry, right?
It can be. It should be like moist enough so that you can form them into like little bowls, filling bowls, but not too oily, really. So we're just gonna add a bit more
The
coconut and mixing it in. See. So what do you miss most about Malaysia, Tini?
The food. It's Ramadan.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Ramadan,
I know,
the bazaar
right.
Ramadan.
Yeah. I remember I was in Kampung Baru in Kuala Lumpur.
The stretch of the
Yeah.
Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman, the stretch of the bazaar
Crazy,
Ramadan.
right?
Yeah.
Is it? I wonder what it's like this year though, with the COVID, like whether it's less.
Yeah, I think they have limited.
Sure. Someone is saying, Intan is saying, best famous laksa in Kedah is laksa
Telur Kecai.
Teluk Kecai.
Yeah, it's a place. in Kedah. That's called Telur Kecai.
Okay. Laksa
What's
Teluk
so
Kecai.
special about that laksa?
Yeah, what's so special about it?
Maybe Intan can tell us what's so special about that laksa.
Yeah.
I think I know Intan. She's
Yeah.
my sister.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
And also they have I've seen they have laksa ikan temenung seko. It's like laksa, the asam laksa, but they put
The fish.
the fish.
Is it like a whole fish?
Yeah, the whole fish.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it boiled or is it like
Yes.
fried?
Yeah, it's boiled.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got the 2 lots of filling, right? That's the non-vegan. This is the vegan one. I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit. So what we're going to do this is the sweet potato that the skin's been taken off of, and we're gonna just mash it. But it doesn't have to be completely mashed. We can just kind of like crush it with our hands.
Yeah.
And we might not even need all of it. Let's do some of it first. Let me just move this out of the way. So what else is famous in Kedah with the food? Apart from laksa Kedah and...
They have a lot of traditional snacks.
Okay.
Dodo. There's
yeah.
this place in Kedah that I miss the most, especially now, close to Ideal Fitri. It's Pekan Rabu, where you can get all this sort of traditional food.
Okay.
That's famous in Kedah. Dodol, pulut kacau.
What's pulut kacau?
Pulut kacau is in Kedah. Wait, wajik. Have you heard of wajik?
That's similar to like it's got sticky rice and
Sticky
palm
rice
sugar.
and yeah.
So
That's what Kedah call pulut kacau, because the sticky rice you have to cut kacau, so it's pulut kacau. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
so
kuih bakar.
How is it served like a kind of like a sloppy mess? It's not like macam like...
No, it's not the keras
okay.
one. No.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's like you say.
Okay.
It's the sloppier it is.
I think I have tried it.
Yeah.
I think I saw something in Kuala Lumpur one time. They had a special exhibition of people from other parts of Malaysia. I'm not sure where they were from though. I don't know if it's Kedah.
Right.
But they did something like that. It was so delicious.
Yeah.
We were there for a holiday.
I made that last year because I really like, I just need that. So like Google the recipe and the easiest way to do it. So yeah, I mean, it's you cannot compare from those back home, but at least
Nice.
Yeah.
So this here I've just mixed with some plain flour.
Yeah.
Right. We just want to turn this into a very soft dough, and just mix it up like that. I haven't made this in years, by the way, guys. So, hey, Sammy, how you doing? My goodness, a long time. Hi, Tini. We're watching from Hermit Sungai Petani. Oh, the best homemade belacan is from Tanjung Dawai.
That's where the keropok is from.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Because our MOMC chefs, they have this running debate about the best belacan. Chef Joe is insisting it's the Tanjung Dawai belacan.
See?
And
Chef Joe.
Yeah, Chef Joe is saying Tanjung Dawai has the best belacan, and Chef Bob is saying no, it's belacan Melaka.
Okay.
Chef Bob is from Melaka.
Okay, agree with Chef Joe.
That's why I said we should have a belacan cook-off one. Yeah, tasting, like blind tasting, on the street in Malaysia. So let's see, this is maybe a little bit more flour. So you can see I do things very, very agak-agak, right?
I think that's how it is, with Malaysian cooking. When I ask my mama, I need recipe for this, and she'll be like, I don't know how to give proper measurement. She'll be like, agak-agak,
Yeah.
Always agak-agak.
Yeah, that's right.
It works better.
Yeah.
So Jackie, you are actually from
Seremban. Yeah, nobody has heard of Seremban unless you're from Malaysia. So I won't say it once, I won't get in trouble. Yeah. But no, one day we will cover Seremban food. Okay. But kesian Seremban. Doesn't get the recognition.
Seremban ikan,
Ikan apa?
Ikan patin is not Seremban.
No. That's actually there is a place in,
Yeah,
I think, for ikan patin in Seremban.
Yeah. Ikan sembilan.
Ikan sembilang, is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Seremban or Negeri Sembilan, but I heard of it, but I've never actually tried it. Okay, maybe this is okay. So this is like the sweet potato plus some flour, right? And then we're going to make these into bowls. But in the meantime, what we will do, so this is the filling. Let me just get some more gloves. Cool. Okay, so what we want to do And we can make this big or small.
Mm.
When I used to sell this at my store, I made them quite large because Aussies in Australia, everything is super size. Yeah.
super
In
size.
Malaysia, everything is very small.
Oh yeah, the
So-
cookies is not that big.
Yeah. So what we want to do, this is the non-vegan filling. We'll just make them into little balls like this,
Okay.
right? So maybe if Tini want to do that, just kind of
Okay.
like
Yeah.
just yeah.
Pressure.
Okay, cool. And in the meantime, I'm going to heat up some oil. Now, you can pan fry this, but I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to deep fry it, okay? I hope you're not averse to
No.
oil.
I think normally people deep fry.
Yeah? Good. Because I used to deep fry it at my business, and people get a bit worried about all the oil. Good.
No.
Because if you're deep frying, we can fry the keropok as well,
Yeah.
because I really want
But
to
if
try it.
you pan fry, then it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah. Thank you. Good.
Cucur need to be deep fried for me.
Cool. Yeah. There you go, guys. You heard it from a Malaysian here. So, what else is Kedah famous for? I really need to.
I feel guilty for not thinking of what
So,
else is
laksa
famous.
Kedah, apa lagi ya?
Kedah, Pulau Langkawi.
You know, Langkawi. Every time I ask people about the food in Langkawi, they say "Oh, nothing. Everything like there's nothing.
Overpriced.
Nothing.
Sorry.
They didn't say that, but they say there's nothing like it's not famous for anything in Langkawi. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there anything?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so. I have to believe that.
So I'm just
That's why
doing
I'm
the
gonna-
same
yeah,
here with
I
the
mean-
vegan. Yeah.
I mean, it's good that you're doing the next show.
Yeah.
Then I'll get someone to actually go to all the places where you can get good food in Kedah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. You really can get line us up. That'll be great because I've been struggling. I want some of my chefs, and they're like, oh,
Okay. I'll get him.
Good.
Because I know this guy. He's into photography and videography.
Fantastic. We will credit him. We'll put it in the credits,
Yeah.
and we'll credit him in both the video and also in our e-magazine, because this series, for those of you who just joined us or missed it, we are doing a new series starting not this Sunday but next Sunday for Tourism Malaysia Australia, and it's called Street Food Journeys Malaysia. Okay, so I'm going to be virtually traveling around Malaysia until such time as we can travel in real life, and showcasing the destinations and the food in particular. And then we're going to cook the street food that the places are famous for. Okay, so this is going to be really cool. That's why I'm trying to get all the research here with Tini while we can.
Of Apam Balik.
Yeah, Apam Balik.
Yeah, we have like
Apam Balik.
or,
Is it different in Kedah to?
It's the same.
Okay, that's the thing. Sometimes it's hard to find something unique from each of the states.
True.
I mean, laksa is obvious. I think every
different
state has a different laksa.
laksa.
But I want to do a separate series on laksa, all the different laksas.
It'll be interesting. Then we can get laksa Terengganu from Tia,
Yeah.
laksa Kelantan from
Yeah.
Palmyra, and laksa Johor, laksa Kedah, laksa
Yeah.
Penang,
Yeah.
and laksa Kuala Kangsar that you mentioned just now.
Yeah, that's right. And where else? I wonder Pahang they do.
And this morning also we had a chat with TR. TR is actually our tourism director, Tourism Malaysia director in Sydney.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Cucur Badak, and then he mentioned that from Badak alone we have a lot of food that is related to Badak. Kuih Badak berendam.
Kuih Badak berendam. Okay.
I think it's Kelantan, right?
There's
The
something berendam
green-
in Kelantan.
Yeah, the green.
But yeah, they're like
dumpling, sweet.
they look like cendol but like dumpling.
Yeah.
And what else? I don't know why they call it Badak, right?
I think probably because it's just round and
Cool. Right.
okay.
So this is a little bit oily, but we'll squeeze out some of the oil when
that's
we
what I did too.
yeah. That's what happens when you're not paying attention, See. Okay, so we're going to Like this is just heating up. And guys, don't forget to hit us up with any question. Hantar sini sikit. Teacher. There you go. You're gonna take it back to your office for tomorrow. Okay, so these are like the sweet potato, and hopefully this is okay. What we want to do is just grab some and make a little indent in the middle, big enough for us to. We might need a bit more sweet potato actually. Okay, because these bowls are quite large. So we want to put it in the middle and just wrap it up, right? And then just kind of like flatten it into like discs.
It's not square. It's flatten.
Yeah. So just like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to fry this up once the oil is hot enough. And just put this here in the meantime. If you want to, let's just share this with you.
Yeah.
And I can probably do more of the as well. Yeah. Sorry guys, I put a little bit too much oil in the filling, so they're a little bit sloppy. But hopefully it'll be okay. We'll see how we go.
Okay, let's do this. This is my first time making cucur badak too, guys.
People assume that Malaysia, with all its beautiful food, that all these overseas Malaysians are fantastic cooks, you know. But a lot of us, we came here without knowing how to cook because we didn't have to, because the food over in Malaysia is so cheap and so readily available, right? Yeah.
In Kedah, you still can get 3 cucur badak for $1, RM1.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh,
And we
wow.
still have
I don't know how they survive.
Yes.
Okay, so flour plus mashed steamed sweet potato, right? If you think it needs more flour, we can just add to the.
It's okay.
It's okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't like adding too much flour because then it tastes like very doughy sort of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you want to taste the potato sweet.
That's right. That's right. But if you don't put enough, then it might crack when you're cooking. That's the only thing. So you just got to balance out, like, the ratios.
So my mom trick of frying any cucur is the oil not to be too hot.
Oh, cool. So get your oil about 160 degrees or so. You might be okay.
Yeah.
Like that. Oops, I put one over here. I wonder this is so slow. Okay. What happens when you use portable gas things? So, Tini, should people contact your office once they arrive in Australia to study, or?
Yes, we encourage students to register with us once they arrive in Australia, so that in case of any emergency or it's easier for us to keep in touch. Like, what happened last year during COVID-19. So we are able to keep in touch with all our Malaysian students in Australia. We give out food.
Oh, nice.
Food voucher.
I didn't realize you did that. Okay, cool. And you support them regardless of which part of Australia they're located in.
Yes.
Okay, that's very cool. There you go. Because I remember, especially Melbourne, for those of you who live outside of Australia, Australia has handled the COVID situation really well. Except for Melbourne. Because they were locked down for a long time. And the uni students had lost their jobs and whatever, right? So it was really tough.
Yeah.
So did your office get really involved with that at all?
Yes.
Because I know online groups like the Facebook group Apani, Melbourne Cari Makan food blog, they were organizing for local restaurants to provide free food to the Malaysian students who couldn't afford to feed themselves.
Yeah.
But have things normalized now more or less?
Yes, more or less.
Okay.
Actually, I think our students handle it very well.
Cool.
Than I expected.
Cool.
And I work hand in hand with all the respective students. We have a Malaysian Student Council in every state.
All right.
So that's how I communicate with all the students in all the state.
Right. That's very cool. I didn't realize that.
So any information, even though if you can't get hold of me or my office, you can always reach out to the student association. There's also a
Sure.
Malaysian Student Association in your respective university,
All
and
right.
they're also affiliate with the Malaysian Student Council
Okay.
in every state.
Okay.
So we always we have a different level of communication if
Sure.
you wish to. So
Right, right.
yeah.
That's excellent. Okay, so
And we
let's.
also arrange, student activities, get together. Even students have activities like culture activities, sports. So
Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I'll encourage students to get involved with the.
Yeah, because it can be quite lonely when you're here,
True,
especially first
true,
time.
true.
Were you very active here in Australia when you were here as a student?
Actually, I did.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
part of the University of Wollongong Student Association. I'm involved with Malaysia Fest.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, Malaysia Fest at that time is it's not as big as what we have now, but it's still the basic is still the same. It's organized by the student, but at that time we cook, we perform, we sing, we dance. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Where did you used to have it?
It's still in Tamalongkap.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I might have been around back then because I've been running a Malaysian business for a long time here in Australia. Maybe look, I came back from the UK in 2001. So I don't know. When were you in Australia?
1998.
Okay. So it was
Up to
it was
2000,
like
yeah.
I was in England at the time. Otherwise we would have met each other at Malaysia
probably,
Fest.
of course, yeah.
So I did do Malaysia Fest for a few years. I did a cooking demonstration on stage there a couple of times, I think. But yeah, that's funny if you guys do all the performance and all that.
Yes,
So-
so it would be like, we have like two teams. One team will be cooking and selling
Oh,
food,
wow.
and one will be on stage dancing, and then we swap. Okay, you guys have to go.
Funny. Oh, that's very cool. Do you still keep in touch with the students
Yes.
after all these
with
years? Are you still
friends,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
very cool. Awesome. Yeah. So anyone who thinks to study in Australia, look up Miss Teeny's office.
Yeah. For any students that already in Australia, if you need anything, any help,
Yeah.
any advice, especially now
Yeah.
in the current situation, you are not sure whether you want to go back. But
Sure.
I mean, my advice is, if you are already here at the moment and you're still in your, should I put in?
Yeah, sure.
And you're still like in your uni.
Stay
I
here.
know it's very hard. I know miss family and all that, but stay
Sure.
here because we're not sure when the border is gonna open.
Yeah, yeah.
There are some of our students that went back because it's summer break at that time, right?
Right, right. And they can't come back here.
Yeah, and they're
Okay.
still stuck back home.
Right.
Yeah.
So are they doing distance learning or what's happening?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
doing distance learning, but it's different.
Yeah, yeah.
Some unis still continue the lecture online, but
Right.
those that need to use the lab,
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
it's very
That's
hard
right.
for them.
Yeah, yeah. If they do want to leave Australia, can they actually leave? Like as far as booking flights and all that, the government will let them. They won't say you can't.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can leave,
Okay.
but it's just that make sure that you have communicate with your student advisor in terms of your academic.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're not sure whether you can come back,
Right.
whenever
Sure,
that
sure.
you want to.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So basically, you want to fry with all these. You'll fry them till they float up, sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it might take a few minutes. You can add them in if you like. I'm just not adding these ones yet because they're the vegan ones,
Oh, yeah.
so that we can
Okay.
keep them separate, right?
Yeah.
But this is actually very easy to
Yeah.
make, right?
It is.
Yeah. And see so much easier it is with the
Yeah, with the-
non-orange sweet potato.
It is
Right?
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit skeptical actually, You said they're making chuchu baduk. Oh no, with all the dried shrimp and the coconut, the fillings, And the sweet potato, I had a very very bad experience using the
Sweet potato.
sweet potato.
See, that's my secret tip of the day, guys. For
I
those-
use the
Yeah,
purple,
yeah. Use a purple potato,
Purple potato.
purple sweet potato.
yeah, and steam it.
Yeah, and steam it. That's right. And you have a meja gas is steady one tini. Chok Badak in Sydney. Is that how you spell chok? C-O-Q?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's
Okay.
like Cucur. It's like C-U-C-U-Q, so they shorten it to chok.
Oh, nice. Very
Chok
cool.
kodok.
So, yeah.
Chok kodok is the banana.
Yeah. Okay. So you got chokodo.
Chok kodok is.
Oh, that's
chok
right.
kodok.
Actually, it's spelled yes,
C-E-K.
C-E-K-O-D-O-K.
Yeah.
I've seen it spelled. Oh, right. Cool. Okay, so some of these are floating. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take them out. Let me just get a paper towel. Sorry.
Maybe it's yeah,
I'll
it's
get
here.
a plate as well.
Hi Tira. Hi Mija.
Yeah, Tini's gonna take this back to the office.
They're back in Malaysia. Why they back in
Yeah, you can. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's the thing. You Malaysians, you're too spoiled.
I
Yeah.
know for us, that's why I keep telling them. They were like, "Oh, Kartini, you cook now." I'm like, yeah, because I have no choice. But now I have Jackie. If I want anything,
Boleh. Anytime, actually. Now I know where you live.
yeah.
They're not too far from each
No,
other.
not too far.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so good. Yeah, and some people they put the small.
Yeah. Yeah, in Malaysia everything is tiny, you know. Like
Yeah.
you it's like, oh wow, that's so cute, that's so small. But here in Australia, you're used to making everything
Very
big.
big.
Oh,
yeah.
Maheran, hey, Pontini and Jackie, I want some chop.
Badak.
There you go.
Yeah, we
You
bring
can
some
hantar.
We bring some for you.
I think I use the rest of this for the.
Yeah.
This one is better. You have to make yourself. That's why we're showing you guys how to make it. You see, this is all for Tini.
See, we love to do it. Someone else after. Oh, Chef Joe.
Hi, Chef Joe. Hi from KL. Love to Badak. There you go. Cool. Chef Joe, you got a vote for Tanjung Dawai Belacan.
Belacan. Yes, Tanjung Dawai Belacan is
So,
the best Tanjung
On
Dawai
Kedai.
Belacan.
Chef Bob is going to have an issue with you. Here you go. Take this out. Cool. There you go. So the filling, if you've got any leftover, you can just freeze it.
Mhm.
So, you know,
Yeah,
use it
or-
next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take this out.
Oily.
Yeah, it is very oily. But it's healthy because it's homemade. Don't worry about the oil. After this, I'm gonna fry. I'm gonna fry the vegan ones, and then we're gonna fry your keropok.
Oh,
I'm very keen to check out your keropok ikan bilis. Anyone tried keropok ikan bilis before? I've never even heard of it. Hey, Hollywood. Hey, how you doing? You're still on Twitch. Hola, ¿cómo estás? How's your? Are you on any new projects, Hollywood? I should talk to you. Actually, you know, Hollywood. We are actually. He's actually a Hollywood producer.
Wow.
I'm actually making a series on Malaysia, 8-part online series, but I'm doing it without being in Malaysia. Shooting in July. Cool. Well, there you go. You got time to work on my project then, because I'm producing it for release Sunday week. So, oh, here you go. Beneath this. Okay. If you want to differentiate these, you can make these a different shape sort of thing. So maybe we'll do that so that we're not like having to wait for that to finish before we can do this. So yeah, make a different shape or like kind of like somehow.
Square.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen something like that shape.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So we're just squeezing these into like longish shapes so that people can tell that they're the vegan ones.
We have something like this with this shape, but it's sweet. It has
Oh,
sugar
sorry.
inside.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Cool.
use sweet potato as well. I don't know what it's called though.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Fish. Yeah, I'll touch base with you on Facebook. Cool. Yeah. I love Malaysian kueh. They all use very similar ingredients,
Similar
you know,
ingredients,
right?
yeah.
We use all the like the coconut, the palm sugar, the sweet potato and like glutinous rice
Glutinous
flour.
rice,
yeah,
yeah.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all very similar,
Pandan.
but they taste different.
Every state has a
Yeah,
different, similar but different.
yeah.
There you go.
So there you go. So these are the ones that we've made so far. These are all the non-vegan ones. There you go. And I'm gonna try and add the keropok in there.
So you need to make it.
So do you drive here in Australia?
Yeah.
How do you find the driving compared to Malaysia?
It's very
Safe.
yes.
Is that the word you want?
Yes.
Do you find it scary driving in Australia though?
No.
No, not at all.
I'm scared to go back and drive in Malaysia now.
Yeah, I've never driven in Malaysia. It's scary.
You know what's scary driving in Australia?
What?
The fine.
Right, you can before or not?
Oh.
Madam Tini, if the cok badak is round, like would be more like the cucuk badak. Apa ni? Mama Norada said,
If the cok badak is round,
like would be more
would
like
be
cucuk
more
badak.
like cucuk badak. Oh. Should be round. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so guys, like I said, this is keropok ikan bilis from Kedah. Look at that. I'm gonna try and throw it in. See
Yeah.
what it's like.
It's gonna put.
Oh wow! Look at that! Look at that!
There you go.
There you go. You see it? It's really thin as well. It's like quite delicate. I'm so intrigued by this. Have you ever seen this being made? Like, do they use like dried ikan bilis to make it, or do they
I'm not
use?
sure. Maybe we should do that.
Right? Yeah, I know. I wonder how they make it. Because my aunt used to make keropok udang, but they use like fresh udang, you know,
Oh.
to make it. So because it's like mashed in with like tapioca flour and then like steamed and then like dried on sheets.
Now I know what I'm supposed. I can go when I go back. I'm gonna go and see how they make the keropok.
You should.
Yeah.
Here you go. Let's throw this in.
This cook.
Oh, yeah, cool. Let's get another plate. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, you put it in, or let's get another one.
Yeah.
Put a paper towel in that. So does every consular office have an education attaché, or?
We have education
Oh, sorry.
attaché in London,
Right.
Washington,
Oh.
Jordan, Indonesia, Egypt. What else did I say?
Okay.
London. I did say London. Washington. Yes. Dubai.
All right. Are there a lot of students in Dubai?
We want them to come. Malaysia. That's why we have.
Oh, right. Okay. Or where to buy the ikan bilis keropok here in KL?
Oh, that's very hard to answer. I'm not sure. My mom sent me this.
All the way from Malaysia.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll find out.
I have never seen or heard of it. Here you go. Cool.
Yeah.
I want to take some photos of these. Cool. All right. So that's it.
Yeah.
Easy enough, right? So guys, look at this.
Easy.
So we got the oval shaped ones, the
For the
cylindrical
vegan.
shaped ones for the vegan, and the round ones for the non-vegan, which has the dried shrimp and coconut and all that sort of stuff. So give it a shot. The recipe is going to be sent out to our subscribers. So you just need to sign up at malaysianchefs.com/join today at the top left over there. So yeah, what do you think?
I think now I can make myself. It's easy. My mind was like, it's a lot of work, and because of the filling and the potato and all that, and skeptical about using the orange sweet potato. Yeah, I can't wait for breakfast so that I can taste it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We'll let you take it all home. So,
Thanks for having me, Jackie.
No, it's good fun. Yeah, there you go. But we timed it really well. So yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much, Kartini, for coming along and being a good sport. You're the first diplomat to show up on our MOMC show. So again, Australia, we're number one.
Yeah.
Well done. Oh, thank you, Zaina. And and also right after this, not right after this, in 1 hour, we have our MOMC chef, Debbie Teo. She's going to be making popiah basah, right? Which is a fresh popiah, a fresh Malaysian spring roll. But not just that, she's going to show you a simple way to make the kulit popiah.
Oh.
So there you go. Make sure you tune in, okay? The popiah skin, right?
Yeah.
When I had my restaurant, I used to make the popiah skin the traditional way. But Debbie's going to show you the easy way to make it, okay?
I
So
like
that's
easy.
less. Yeah, me too. I want to find out how she makes it. Yeah, thanks, Fish. Yeah, definitely. We'll catch up afterwards. Okay, good. Thanks again so much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Grab the recipe by signing up at malaysianchefs.com/join today. We'll send it out to you once it's ready. And also you get access to all our membership area, free recipes and e-magazines and all that. All right. Thanks again. See you later. Ciao.
Bye.